everybody has been talking about it, and we are addressing it because it's important. Sexual harassment. When it comes to sexual harassment, people are not only in Bollywood. I'm talking about everywhere. Yeah. People don't come out in the open and support the survivors. What do you think about it? Why is it so difficult for people to come out and support?
I would like to think and give them the benefit of doubt that maybe they are not doing it because they don't know the truth and they don't know the correct sides of the story. But I think genuinely there's just a strange taboo. The survivors don't want to talk about it because they are in fear of what the consequences could be, and that's a very legitimate fear, because the attackers or whoever is in the wrong could be dangerous. So that is from their side, and I think people don't want to talk about it again because they are fearful. They are fearful of their relationships with people who are being accused. They are fearful of what the consequences or the questions they could face once they speak out about it, which is very strange because this is literally the most serious issue and the worst thing that could happen to a living being. So I just hope that the things that are going on around the world can act as triggers in a positive way for people to come out, women to come out and speak about it, because there are men around us who have started supporting and they are hearing them. Yeah. So I just hope that this is the start of a very positive movement where the wrongdoers can be apprehended and the women who have been suppressed for this long can come out in the open and find strength.
Like Tanushree and Rana Patekar, Bollywood took a lot of time to actually acknowledge it and come out and say, you know what, like you did. You came on Twitter and said, I believe you. Yeah. So why that time?
No, I think you have to, listen, you have to understand one thing. It's eventually we are all human beings. We are allowed to process things. Just because we are people who are in the limelight and we're supposed to have an opinion about everything doesn't mean we're about to form an opinion overnight. And nobody should be forced into an opinion. Sometimes you need to weigh the pros and cons of what you're understanding, what you're assimilating, what you're being able to make out of it. There are two sides to a story. It takes you some time to start configuring for yourself. Sometimes there is a jolt to the system. You have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. Like, just because you expect an opinion does not mean I'm ready to have an opinion and share it with the public yet. Yeah. You should be able to have that luxury that you want to have an informed opinion and share it when the time is right. And this happened to me in Patna also. I was doing an interview and it had broken out that morning, and I was put on the spot and asked a question. I don't mind answering it, but I do not want to regret saying something that I'm not aware of. And it will be I'll be held accountable for the rest of eternity about it. And listen, it's a very sensitive topic. You have to come out very, very clear about what you feel. And it's not about taking sides. It's about an emotion. Yeah. So emotion take time to be articulated. Because पहले तो घिन भी आती है ना. पहले तो you feel a sense of it's not possible. There is a sense of denial. It takes a little bit of time to adjust to a thought. Yeah?
Because you're a woman, I'm asking you, in the industry, if something like this happens, what should one do?
You know, when I started out in the industry, even people like my family or my parents back home who had nothing to do with the industry and didn't know enough, that was their first fear. They said, oh, do you need somebody to live with you at all times? You don't know how this industry is. You know, there was a certain perception. And I gave them that confidence, saying, no, nothing like this can happen. The people are normal. There are young people out there working. There are more women than men working. So there's nothing to fear. And thankfully, nothing wrong ever happened to me. I was protected by, YRF, Dharma, Balaji, Phantom, Rohit Shetty, all the people I got to work with, they were extremely helpful. I never have to worry about how a co-actor or a director or producer is going to act with me. So I've never thankfully been in that situation. But if it was, oh God, I would be the first person to bring it out in the open, because that is not only something illegal, that is something that can scar you forever. As a girl, I cannot imagine something worse. I genuinely cannot. So I would bring it out in the open and help investigate as much as I can so that I can provide proof and get that arrested.